Make the Lacy Diamond blanket on the knitting loom. Today I'm going to show you a loom conversion that I made from a needle knit pattern. I have a 16 row repeat for you. You can have it on a little cuddly like what I have here, or you can actually make it in a much larger size like a receiving blanket or a larger throw. I'm going to have all 16 rows in this video tutorial for you, and we do have those multiple sizes in the blanket pattern, so grab your supplies and we'll begin. Welcome to GoodKnit Kisses. We're all about helping you stitch your love and love your stitches. The Lacy Diamond blanket for loom knitters is based on the pattern from Your Inspirations called the Harlequin Eyelet Knit Blanket. It's inspired by their needle knit pattern, and we will have that link down below but we've converted it for the loom knitters. So you're seeing a smaller size here. I will have multiple sizes in the pattern so that you can make it as large as you like. We're featuring a super bulky weight yarn. This is the Bernat blanket yarn from Your Inspirations, and you can use other super bulky weight yarns or alter to another weight yarn. We're also using a large gauge 5/8 inch loom. This is a loom from KB Looms called the Flexi Loom Chunky. It doesn't have to be movable like this. It can be a round or circular loom. It can be rectangle, whatever, as long as you have enough pegs to do the project. All that information is going to be on the blog, so be sure and get your pattern down at the link below on the blog, and a link for the needle knit version as well. We do have right and left-handed video tutorials for you. The left-hand tutorial is just flipped from the right-handed, so if I say right or left in this tutorial, you'll know that that's what I said for the right-handed knitters. Just do what's on the screen and it'll move the stitches in the same direction, and you will have this beautiful Lacy Diamond pattern. All right, so let's dive in, get your supplies, click down below for the pattern, and we'll get right into this 16 row repeat. All right, so you're going to cast on a multiple of 11 plus 16. My cast on for this smaller cuddle blanket sample, which is about 15.5 inches across, this is 38 stitches. So we've cast it on. So go ahead and do that. And then you're going to work across, making 3 rows of garter stitch for this edge here. I cast it on in a chain, starting here, working my way all the way to the last peg. And then I worked, so I'm here, and then I worked a purl row, and then a U-wrap knit row, and then a purl row to come back, okay, over here. So I'm on this side over here, and this is going to be my peg 1, my first row. So I like to work with my loom connected, like that. So there we go, and you're going to be on this side when you're ready to begin row 1. Once you've done that, come back, go ahead and pause your video now, and I'll meet you back for row 1 beginning. I want to note that all of the stitches are going to be a U-wrap knit stitch when we do knit. You can also make it an E-wrap, but the U-wrap has a much smoother look than an E-wrap. You can also use a traditional knit stitch as well. For row 1, we're going to begin by knitting 7 stitches. Go ahead and knit 1, 2, and when you make your U-wrap knit, if you just hold that yarn back as you wrap the next one, it will make sure that you have enough slack and your tension isn't too tight. So let's see, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so now we begin our repeated area. So we want to begin by making a knit 2 together and then a yarn over. So we're going to be working a knit 2 together with this stitch, the very next stitch on top of the next one, and that will make it on the right-handed video, we're actually making a knit 2 together and the right is on top. So we want to knit those 2 stitches together and move it over. You'll still move it this way if you're a left-handed knitter, but it's technically called an SSK that way because your left is on top. So we're moving this over to make room for our yarn over. So go ahead and put the yarn in the front of the peg, and that's it for the yarn over. Again, you can make an E-wrap, but I don't think it works as well, and on the lace it twists it up really nicely to work with the yarn over just right in front of the peg. So don't E-wrap your yarn overs, even if you're working with the E-wrap knit stitch for your main stitch pattern. All right, so we have a knit 2 together, yarn over, and then we're going to knit 9 and then repeat. So knit 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and so you're going to repeat that again. We're going to pick up the next stitch, move it over, knit those 2 stitches together, move it to the empty peg and yarn over and knit 9 stitches. So you've got the yarn over and knit the 9. Okay, so you're repeating that as many times as you need for your cast on, and then the last 9 stitches you're going to knit 2 together and knit yarn over and then knit 7. So you had 7 in the beginning and now you have 7 at the end. So I have 9 remaining here. So my last stitches are going to be knit 2 together, yarn over, and then knit to the end. All right, go ahead and do that. Pause your video to catch up, and I will see you for the next row. All right, so we have the second row. All second and alternate rows are going to be exactly the same. So I won't be showing this every time, but you'll begin this way. So you're going to purl 2, 1, and 2. And then knit until the last 2 stitches and purl those 2 stitches. That's it. So pretty simple. So just U-wrap, knit these stitches, make sure that you leave it nice, and you don't have to be really loose, but you don't want to be tight. So have a nice even tension. Make sure you have enough yarn, because all of the other rows after it are going to have decreases and yarn overs, and we need to have enough for the stitches to move over and be knitted together, and they develop that nice pretty lacy diamond look. So go ahead and do that. Pause your video and I'll meet you back up for row 3. See you soon. Okay, so row 3, we are going to knit 6. So it's 1 less stitch than we did the first time we had any lace started. So go ahead and knit 6 to start, and then we'll get to the beginning of our repeat. So I've got 1, and there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're going to do what we did before, where we're going to knit 2 together and then yarn over. So move our stitch over and knit, move it to the previous peg and yarn over, and then we're going to knit these 2 together. So you don't have to yarn over just yet. You can just pick those stitches up and go ahead and yarn over on this one, come around behind the empty peg and knit those 2 stitches together, and then move it to the empty peg, and now yarn over. Okay, and then you're going to knit 7 stitches. So knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that ends the repeat, and now we're going to repeat again. So you're going to knit 2 together, yarn over twice, and knit 7. So let's go ahead and do that again. So pick up that stitch and move it over, knit the 2 together, move it to the previous stitch, Go ahead and knit the next 2 stitches together, or move them over to knit them. And now you can yarn over on this first empty peg, go behind the second empty peg, and knit these 2 stitches together, and then move it back. All right, and then you yarn over and knit 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoops, 6, and 7. Okay, so I've already done 2 repeats on here. Yours may have more repeats, and then you're going to stop when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're gonna have 10 stitches left. What's gonna happen is you're going to knit 2 together, yarn over twice. Okay, so this is a knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, and then you have your 6 stitches at the end, just like you had at the very beginning. All right, so that's all you do. Go ahead and do that, and do your next row, which would be row 4, same as your other alternate rows. Pause your video, and I will meet you back up for row 5. See you there. All right, we're on row 5. We're going to start with a knit 5. So again, it's one less than we did the last time we had a yarn over row or a patterned row. So here we go, knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and now we're going to knit 2 together, yarn over 3 times, and then knit 5. Okay, so this one is where that that knit 5 number is the same as what we had in the beginning and the ending of the row. The other rows are slightly off from that, but this one's sort of the middle section there that's repeatable. So you're going to go ahead and knit 2 together. I'll show you a different way to do the knit 2 together. So you can actually knit this first one and then move it to the next stitch and then knit over. So if that's easier for you, you can do that. Move it back to the empty peg, and then yarn over and do that over here. So you can also go ahead and move the 3 knit 2 togethers first before you start knitting the stitches. So you can say, okay, now I know I did the 3 repeats and I've got them ready, and once I'm done with that, then I can start my knit 5. So let's see, I need to yarn over here. I'm going to go behind that peg. Here is my knit 2 together. I still have to move it down. Okay, yarn over. Now I need to come behind this one and knit these 2 stitches together. Move it over. And then yarn over. Okay, so we have the 5 here, and you can see I have a yarn over, a yarn over, a yarn over. That's 1, 2, 3 yarn overs, and then we knit 5. I'll show you what I mean by moving the stitches over when we get finished with this repeat, and we'll just do that on the next repeat. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. All right, let me move this around so you can see it easy. So here we are, we're at the beginning of our repeat, and we need 3 of the yarn over, knit 2 together. So go ahead and just move your stitches over without knitting yet. So here's the first one, here's the second one, here's the third one. Pause your video, go slow if you need to. Okay, so we have the 3 ready. So once we've knit these and move them over, I'm ready for the knit 5. And you can do this on any of the other rows as well. So again, we're going behind this peg because we don't want to yarn over first. Knit these 2 together and then move it back. Yarn over, go behind that next peg, knit 2 together, pick it up, move it back, yarn over, go behind the next peg, knit 2 together, pick it up, move it back, yarn over, and knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Keep repeating on all of your repeats, okay, until you have the last several stitches where you're going to also knit 2 together, yarn over 3 times, and then you're going to have a knit 5 at the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these stitches, 1, 2, 3, those sets are all those 3 yarn overs with the knit 2 together in front of them. So go ahead and finish out the row. Make your next row, which is number 6, the same as the other alternate rows. Pause your video. I'll meet you back for row 7. We'll see you there. We're ready for row 7. We're going to begin with a knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have your repeat starting. So the repeat here is going to be, well, can you guess it? It's going to be knit 2 together, yarn over 4 times. So we're going to have 4 of these across. Okay, so we had 3 last time, or we had 3 last time, sorry, and now we have 4. And next time when we get to row 9, you're actually going to have, spoiler alert, 5 times where you do that. So we're getting to the widest point here. So we're about this point right here, and then next time we're going to be up to here. So go ahead and move those over. Again, if you want to kind of preemptively do 4 of them across to remind yourself, you can do that. So I'm not going to show you the whole row again. So I'm just going to show you what this visually looks like. Okay, so knit 2 together, yarn over 4 times, and then you're going to knit 3 stitches. That's it, and then that will end the repeat. You're going to repeat that until the end, and the end is also still going to have the knit 2 together, yarn over 4 times, and then you'll have the 4 stitches at the end that are knit. So go ahead and look at your pattern to remind you of what that looks like, and let's move on. So go ahead and make those repeats, pause your video, and I will see you back for row 9. All right, we'll see you soon. All right, we're row 9. This is going to be the widest point of our diamond lace, and we're going to start by knitting 3. 1, 2, 3, and this begins our repeated pattern. So you guessed it, it's going to be knit 2 together and yarn over 5 times, and then in between the next repeat, it's just going to be knit 1. So let's go ahead and get this set up. So knit 2 together, yarn over 5 times. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after I knit those and move them over, yarn over, this last stitch here is going to be knit 1, and then I continue my repeat around. So the ending of the row is just going to be knit 3 at the end, just as you had in the very beginning. And that's it for row 9. So go ahead and make that. Pause your video and we'll come back to row 11. And no, it looks like 6. Okay. 11. Anyway, we'll meet you back for row 11. See you there. Okay, so your first diamond has made it to this halfway point, the widest point in this Lacy diamond, and now you're going to be working your way back down. So every other row again is just like the alternate rows, and then every other row where we're coming from this side for lace, it's going to be repeating backwards. So we just did the 9th row, and the 11th row is the same as the 7th row. So you're going to begin with a knit 4, and then we're going to knit 2 together, yarn over 4 times with 3 stitches in between. Okay, so I'm not going to show you on here again, but I just want you to see how they begin. So I'll just come to you every time for all of the odd number rows to show you just the very beginning on how to start it. So again, you're knitting 4, and then you're knitting 2 together, yarn over 4 times knit 3, and that's the repeat. Repeat that till the end, and then you'll have the knit 4 at the very ending of your row. All right, pause your video. I'll come back and meet you up to show you the directions for row 13. All right, see you there. We're on row 13, and it is the same as row 5, so you can jump back to that part of the video, but it starts off with knit 5, and then you're going to knit 2 together, yarn over 3 times, and then knit 5. So this one's pretty easy because the beginning and the end is 5, and then all the times in between is 5. So you're knit 2 together, yarn over 3 times. So go ahead and begin yours, finish it, and pause your video, and I will meet you for row 15. All right, we'll see you then. All right, we're on row 15, and this is going to be the same as the third row. So the third row, as a reminder, is knit 6. So you're going to knit these first 6 stitches, and then you're going to knit 2 together, yarn over twice with a knit 7 in between. So the repeat is knit 2 together, yarn over twice with a knit 7 in between, and then when you get to the last several stitches, you're going to have knit 2 together, yarn over twice with a knit 6 at the end. So the 2 ends are going to have knit 6, and then in between your yarn overs, you're going to have that knit 7 in between. All right, go ahead and work that, come back, pause your video. I'm going to meet you back for what you do at the end of your 16 row repeat. So again, your 16th row is going to be an even row where you're doing the same as the alternate rows. So I'll tell you how to end your project once you do all your repeats. So we'll see you there. All right, so you've completed your 16 rows of your 16 row repeat, and now you're ready to repeat that until you get your desired length. Once you get that length, then you're going to go ahead and repeat rows 1 through 2, and then you're going to be ready to finish off with a garter row and then bind off in a purl. So you're going to be working this direction again for row 1, which is knit 7 and then knit 2 together, yarn over 1 time with a knit 9. And then you repeat that, and then the ending is also knitting 7, and then you work your repeat for the alternate rows to come back, and you'll be on this side. So to make the garter stitch, you're going to knit a row, purl a row, knit a row, and you'll be on the other end. So you'll be over here, and then you're going to bind off in pattern, which would be binding off with a purl bind off. So you're purling the stitches instead of knitting them. You want to be nice and loose, and that bind off will be really pretty, and it'll still match your beginning garter stitch border, and weave in your tails, and that is it. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial for our stitch pattern. Please click down below to see more tutorials, and also check out our pattern that we did last week. I'll have the links down below for another lacy stitch on the knitting loom. We'll see you soon, and happy looming. Bye everyone. Thanks for joining us today, where we help you stitch your love and love your stitches. See you again soon.